Is a Hindu marriage valid without saat phere? The Supreme Court says it might not be so. The court has ruled that a Hindu marriage cannot be recognized in the absence of a valid ceremony like saptapadi, which is essentially the 7 steps taken by a couple around agni that represent 7 promises or principles that they make to each other under the Hindu Marriage Act. In fact, the court has said that if you register your marriage without following the rituals under the Hindu Marriage Act, then the registration is of no legal consequence or is invalid. What was the case before the Supreme Court and what has the court said now? I, Apurva Mandhani, will tell you in this video. Now, what had happened is that a woman had filed a petition in the Supreme Court seeking a transfer of her divorce case from Muzaffarpur in Bihar to Ranchi in Jharkhand. The couple in this case, they're both trained commercial pilots. They were engaged in March 2021 and they claimed to have solemnized their marriage in July 2021 based on a marriage certificate obtained from Vedic Jan Kalyan Samiti, which is a local religious organization. The couple then said that they registered their marriage under the Uttar Pradesh Marriage Registration Rules 2017 without going through the ceremonies provided under the Hindu Marriage Act. Their families had fixed a date in October 2022 to marry them as per the rituals, but even before the marriage ceremony could be held, differences arose between them, resulting in the registration of a dowry harassment case by the woman against the man and his family. In March 2023, the man approached the family court in Muzaffarpur, Bihar with a divorce petition under the Hindu Marriage Act. The woman then approached the Supreme Court to transfer the case from Bihar to Jharkhand. When this case was being heard in the Supreme Court, the woman's lawyer claimed that there was no marriage or no valid marriage in this case because it was not performed as per the rituals under the Hindu Marriage Act. So he argued that the man could not ask for a divorce. After deliberation, the couple together filed an application in the Supreme Court asking it to declare their marriage as invalid or declare that their marriage was not valid. Now, the order was passed by a bench headed by Justice B.V. Nagaratna, who emphasized the material and spiritual aspects of a marriage under the Hindu Marriage Act. She said that merely getting a certificate issued without the requisite marriage ceremonies is of no legal consequence or is invalid. The court said that a Hindu marriage is a samskara or a sacrament and cannot be recognized under the Hindu Marriage Act unless performed with ceremonies in the proper form. The bench also had Justice Augustine George Massey, and the court urged young men and women to think deeply about the institution of marriage even before they enter upon it and as to how sacred the said institution is in Indian society. The court even reminded couples that a Hindu marriage is not an event for song and dance and wining and dining or an occasion to demand and exchange dowry and gifts by undue pressure leading to possible initiation of criminal proceedings after that. The court referred to Section 7 of the Hindu Marriage Act. This provision says that a Hindu marriage may be solemnized in accordance with the customary rites and ceremonies of either parties. It also says that where such rites and ceremonies include the saptapadi, that is, I've already told you, taking of 7 steps by the bridegroom and the bride jointly before the sacred fire, the marriage becomes complete and binding when the 7th step is taken. So, referring to this provision, the court observed, and I quote, Subsection 2 of Section 7 states that where such rites and ceremonies include saptapadi, that is, the taking of 7 steps by the bridegroom and the bride jointly before the sacred fire, the marriage becomes complete and binding when the 7th step is taken. Therefore, requisite ceremonies for the solemnization of the Hindu marriage must be in accordance with the applicable customs or usage, and where saptapadi has been adopted, the marriage becomes complete and binding when the 7th step is taken, unquote. Now, just to clarify, the customs and usage for marriage might vary for different Hindu communities. So, all the court has said that is that the requisite ceremonies, whatever they may be, should be undertaken for a marriage to be valid. So, the court said that unless the couple has undergone such ceremonies, there would be no Hindu marriage according to Section 7 of the Act, and a mere issuance of a certificate by any entity in the absence of requisite ceremonies having been performed would not establish marriage. The court also noted that these days parents of young couples agree for registration of a marriage to apply for visa for emigration to foreign countries where either of the parties may be working in order to save time while a marriage ceremony remains pending. The court then said that such practices have to be deprecated. So in the case before it, let me just tell you what happened. The court quashed the divorce petition filed by the husband and also the dowry case and the maintenance petition that was filed by the woman. And that's how this case before the court between two commercial pilots ended. That's all I have for you today. This is Apurva Mandhani for The Print. For more such videos, do subscribe to our YouTube channel and follow us on Twitter, Instagram and Facebook.